Alright guys, welcome back to Panda Trades. I hope y'all had a great weekend and y'all were rested. Let me go over the markets. This is the ES, this is the S&P 500 chart, futures. This is what we trade the most. So let's go over what happened today. Usually Mondays are pretty slow days. So our range wasn't very much. If we look at us, the SPY, and look at the range, we opened up at 377.71, and then we just ranged. This is the dash line here. It's red to green area, green to red. This is the previous day closing candle, the last candle, the day closed, let's say 376.35. This is free. This is the last candle ends. So I have this dash line because my strategy with stocks, maybe I'll do a video on that later on, goes with the previous day, basically fade away or breakout, or one of the two, red to green or green to red. So this is what I have, the dash line. And it took me a while to figure out how to edit to Thinkorswim charts because I use TC2000. Alright, so we opened 377.71 and we basically got to a low of 375.53 and a high of 380.53. 5 points ATR. This is a 5 point range for the day. Usually our ATR is I'm sorry, this is the NASDAQ. Usually our ATR is about 8, so about 8 points a day. So we're below that. We mostly ranged. Didn't have much action going on, just back and forth. So you see, we got to this point here. This is a 5-minute chart. We got to the red to green and then faked out, and then again exited support, and then again exited support. So you really try to save the day and not going lower. So every time you try to go lower, you got the support on the previous day candle, closing candle, so you won't turn red on the day, maybe for a second or two. But then if you look at the 4-hour chart, we have basically a doji kind of candle, and we had basically a pin bar to the downside. That's pre-market, but after that we had kind of doji pin bar to the upside. Still, two of those don't indicate much to me, but what I can see the EMAs are curling up on the lower time frame. I was done trading by this time, but as you can see, we rejected twice. It's a double bottom, and then we kind of break those EMAs, and this is the 15, and you got a confirmation literally right here. Sorry, this is a different chart. You got a confirmation right here. You could come on. Right here, you got a flag. If you waited You could take this flag on the 15 minutes basically, from 377.80 all the way to 380.45, which is it's not a lot. It's about 2 points, but this day didn't move much. So this is the SPY, and this is the ES. It's the same thing. That's the futures of it. I did have a support, basically a demand zone I draw beforehand. As you can see here, this is pre-market. We touched the 80s, basically the 378.80. Rejected that, went back up, broke that, acted as support, went back up, come back down, and then back up, back down. So you can see we created supply zone right here. So the range day, that's what it was. A lot of traps. That's why in this market you try not to trade breakouts. Most of the time they're gonna fail, especially if you try them between 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. They're gonna fail because there's less volume, and you don't want to try to do that during lunchtime. But as you can see here, we ranged, we hold. It was like 2 o'clock before we got any action in the ES, and we basically broke this supply zone to the upside. But those are really small moves, and I wouldn't. I just shut the computer off, took my little profit from a trade we did earlier, and that's it. So I want to show you a trade. I'll show you it over here that we had on Tesla. There we go. So I trade on the 5-minute chart, and sometimes I get confirmation on the 2. So setup again, this dash line is the previous day close. So this is the previous day. Over here I don't have the pre-market or the post-market. So it was Friday 4 o'clock. We closed at sorry about that. We closed at 207.51, and as you can see here, we opened up. It's hard for you to see that over here, so I'll show it over here. We opened this one. We opened this candle today, pretty strong, a lot of fake out. But if you see Tesla here, if you really look it up on the daily, so we touched this area, the 205 area, which is right here somewhere. We touch it. We got it to it once. We touch it once. We try to bounce. We touch it twice. Then we got bottom about 210, and then again we try to break it here. We didn't break it. So this is a setup on the daily that looks bearish to me, and we also got rejections on the EMAs. So everything indicates for a downside short basically, and we had a pretty quick confirmation from the QQQ, so we took it. As you see here, it's a double double top here on the 1 minute. So we try to push higher. We open a little, not even small gap up, try to push higher, and then we got rejection immediately on the 1 minute. So once you break that, when we broke that, you enter about 206. It was 206.50 something. Around here, you enter to the trade, and then we had some support around this area, as I said, 204, 205. So we got to here, we sold some, and then we kept going lower and lower, and basically we got all the way from 208 all the way down to 197, which is crazy. About 10 points move, and this is one of the setups we do. So this one actually we call it green to red. So we started green. In 5 minutes you can see that when the candle form, you can actually see it. So we started green, we went up, then we got rejection here, and then came back down all the way here. We got confirmation that it's going to keep lower. We enter and we profit. I'm going to do a video for a setup, how we trade stocks. I usually try to stay with 2 to 3 tickers and trade the ES, then the NQ, Tesla, and AMD. So I trade high liquid and high market cap stocks. So this is a setup for that. Of course, it's not penny stocks or small cap. It probably won't work. When you trade small cap, you got to be careful on that stuff. You want to break out, catch a small breakout, profit from it, and keep going. So this is what we did with Tesla today. Again, we're still in a bullish trend. We got higher lows, and we had higher highs. We had a pretty big pullback here. We do have CPI. Sorry about that. We do have the CPI coming. I'll get you here. We have the CPI coming on Thursday 10th at 8:30, and this is basically gonna show us where the market is gonna go. So we had a pretty couple weeks. We'll see how that goes. You know what? Let me see here. There you go. So Fibonacci here, just to show you. So we got all the way to the low 3502, and then we retraced 50% down, and then we went up. We got rejection at the 23, okay, which is 3820, and now we gotta watch here if we're gonna have pullback and then keep going higher, or we can dump it. But I don't think we're gonna have a lot of action until Thursday. Today was a range day. Maybe tomorrow we're gonna get some action. I hope so. And we'll see from there. But as far as now, it's a bullish formation. Next level I'm gonna watch is 38.50, and the next one will be 3900. So if you look at the SPY, right here, 375. You see that candle here? A lot of weight from the downside for a bullish move on today, which happened after 1 o'clock. 380. If we break 380, I'm going to expect a move to 390. Maybe a bit of rejection at 385, then move to 390. If we get 390 out of the window, then we're going to watch for 400, which is a site number as well. If we break 400, then we go all the way up to 415. So it's we gotta watch, see. We gotta see how the market gonna react tomorrow. Wait for the CPI numbers on Thursday, and trade the markets as we see. Alright guys, see y'all on the next video. Thank you for watching.